So there, that sort of wraps up with regards to what other coins Flash are planning to support. Another question, obviously, decentralization. Everybody wants to know more about it. Is any part of Mammoth decentralized, or is there any plans for it to be decentralized? What's your take?
No, it's a regulated market, and I mean, when you do regulated things, they tend to be centralized. I mean, you can't meet all the compliance requirements without being centralized. But that said, I'm the way I'm looking at this now. It appears to me that we're going to see a bifurcation of the way crypto coins get traded. You're going to have coins that are within the system. They get scanned. They didn't have any problems with any kind of ransomware or any other bad things. They're able to be onboarded into the exchange, which means that as soon as it goes on a centralized exchange, it's in a centralized wallet. So if someone's holding the coins for you, which is really one of the requirements of these, remember I said before that there were family offices and sovereign funds that want to get into this? Their requirements are they like centralization, they like regulation, they like the fact that there's a licensed custodian who is holding the coins that has insurance or that has some kind of way to make sure that they're going to get their coins back. So that's the long and short of it. That's where the centralized part of it's going. Now, what about the decentralized? Not everybody likes to keep their coins on an exchange. Well, once you get further along, is it possible that some centralized exchanges they have a policy that, if your coins leave for the wild, they may not be able to get back in. They could do that. They could actually say that. And then what you end up with is two different groups of coins, the coins that can play inside the system but can't leave, and then the ones that are free range. And it's entirely possible that you have different pricing for each of these coins. One might be worth more than the other. I don't know, but that's something the market will figure out. But that is a fundamental issue that I think all these coins are going to have with these exchanges. Flash, we just want to support. We don't care one way or the other. Our coin actually, because we have QT wallets and wallets that are independent of any system. Those coins are decentralized. You're holding your own private key. Now, if you want centralized, the Flash Web wallet, that is a more centralized wallet. Now, we're not storing your key. You're generating it when you log in, and you have a recovery phrase that helps you regenerate it if you forget it. But that's the idea there, is that all of those kind of web wallet things most of them will probably end up being regulated. And that means that at some point in the future, you'll be in the land of KYC and AML. That's know your customer and anti-money laundering. And those are going to be regulated wallets. Now, if you want unregulated, decentralized, you just go get yourself a QT wallet or Coinomi or one of the other wallets where you're just, and in fact, our new Android wallet might be a possibility too. I have to take a look at that. But as long as you're holding your own key and you're downloading the software yourself, and you're responsible for your own key, guess what? You're off the grid. You're decentralized. So as far as decentralized exchanges, that's one of the tasks I gave to somebody who's one of our volunteers. I said, hey, go make a list of all the decentralized exchanges that are out there, and there are new ones cropping up every day. Most of them are ERC20 compatible, and the reason is because it's easier to do it. You only have to do basically one coin, and then you use a smart contract on ERC20. Downside to that is to do discovery, in other words, to find someone who's selling a coin. Most of these guys come to me and they say, I have this new decentralized exchange. And I said, okay, do you have a website? And most all of them say, yes, here's our website. I said, well, if you have a website, you are not a decentralized exchange. It's just that simple. I said, you have to get rid of the website. You have to be a protocol. And then you have to have a signaling plane where you can have your users who download the software can use an independent blockchain to advertise offers to buy and sell. And it's done by the individual person, just like Craigslist or something like that. Hi, I have a used, Coleman sleeping bag I want to sell. Great, I want to buy a Coleman sleeping bag. And that's how that just puts people together, and then they can go and make up their own deal. If I go visit you and I say, yeah, this is a Coleman sleeping bag, it's in good condition, I'll pay you $10 for it, which is what you're asking. And that's how, and then you have settlement. It's a separate thing. So the problem with most of those things is that in order to post something to an Ethereum blockchain, it's going to cost you 50 cents. Now, if you every time that you click the I want to offer things to buy or sell and you had to pay 50 cents, that's going to get expensive and you're going to get tired of that real fast. So what I think is going to happen is that a blockchain like Flash, and we're already working with one decentralized exchange to get them so that they can build an application. And in order to put data inside of our blockchain, it's not widely known, but you can put up to 50 bytes of data inside every transaction. What we do is we charge people a special fee for that. And now there's a very, very nice revenue model for the Flash community and for the people who are doing the application. So that's something that I think is a very, very interesting thing. If you look at Flash, the blockchain, the goal of Flash is to have the blockchain publicly run. What that means is that it's like a public utility. Anyone can connect up to the power company and get power. They don't say, well, we don't like your business because you sell a certain kind of flour. We don't like that. We're not going to give you electricity. They don't do it. They provide, they're a common carrier. They provide power to anybody. UPS, pretty much the same way. If it fits in the brown box and it's it's not an explosive, corrosive, or something that's going to cause a problem and get their planes to fall out of the sky, they'll stick it in the box. They'll charge you for it. They don't want to know what's in the box. They just want to know it's not going to cause a problem. And that's it. So that's where I think Flash is the blockchain wants to be as low price as possible. People who want to make money off of Flash will build applications. That's what we're starting to see now.
And I hope that's answered people's questions on the mammoth decentralization, and obviously another little touching there on Flash and its blockchain technology. So thanks for sharing that, Chris. And I think we may have already covered this question. And I think I think we did with regards to what fiat to Flash pairing will there be. For example, I want to send my so-and-so a payment with Flash. What if he wants to exchange it then back into Filipino peso? Will he be able to do that in the Flash web wallet or the Flash wallet? Just a bit of insight there, Chris.
Well, here's the deal. That is a massive use case. So it's an excellent question. So the question is, if I'm a merchant, the problem I have is someone pays me with Flash, Bitcoins, Litecoins. It doesn't matter what kind of crypto. I have to just make a choice of what I want to do. Do I want to keep the crypto and ride the wild bronking buck, or do I want to just take my crypto, sell it, and get cash? And most merchants will take the cash route. Now, some are just looking at it like, well, it's small enough that I'll just hang on to the crypto, and they've been very happy. So, the first Flash transaction that I'm aware of was James bought a haircut for 10,000 Flash. And, it's like a $15 haircut, $20 haircut. And it became worth $300 today, right? So it's a lot of money. And that's the benefit of holding on to a crypto that's appreciating. But on the other hand, if you're a merchant and you have a tax problem, you have to pay tax based on the revenue that you got and the value that you got at the time. That's in the U.S. Canada's pretty similar to that, and a number of other countries follow that too. So the Filipino example you asked about, we have to have a way for merchants in the Philippines to be able to take the Flash and convert it. Now, there's two ways to do it. You can convert it into another currency at some place like Mammoth. In other words, you convert it into euros, Swiss francs. What I think is going to happen is you're going to have local exchanges in places like the Philippines. And they're going to say, okay, we'll take Flash and we will convert it from the Flash directly into Filipino pesos, and you're done. And it'll go right into your bank account. And that's just, and they'll charge a fee for that. Now, that's, if you think about it, that's actually a pretty good deal for the merchant because the cost of taking a credit card for online transactions is at least 3%. Let's say they can get the fee down to under 1%. Person sends the coins, they get the coins go in their wallet immediately compared to a credit card, which you don't get for 3 days. You get 3 day settlement with a credit card. Plus, you have a holdback account. You don't have that with Flash. So it's a very, in particular for companies like coffee shops, which I think are a terrific application. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Canada right now. CBC, which is the big Canadian broadcasting corporation, they're one of the largest media companies in Canada. They went to a shop in Halifax that takes Flash, and they were doing a story on it. And then what happened is they saw how big this thing was. They said, "Hey, you know what? We want to do more than just a 30-second little blurb. We want to come back tomorrow and spend all day with you guys and go over this." And so what happens is now they're coming in, they're looking at this, they're saying, "Now, why is it that you want to take Flash?" And the person who owns this said, "Well, we want to offer our customers the latest and greatest, the most current, most modern things. That's where our business is. That's what we want to offer our customers." But there's also a very good economic reason. It's a coffee shop. You buy a cup of coffee. Let's say it's a $5 super mocha later latte or whatever. You get this $5. You say, "I want to pay with a credit card." Well, with a credit card, it's typically 30 cents plus 3%. So you're going to pay out of $5, you're going to pay 3% of $5 is 15 cents plus 30 cents. That's 45 cents. 45 cents on $5 is almost 10%. Now you compare that with paying with Flash, and Flash is going to cost you a fraction of a penny, and it'll clear right away. So if you're a merchant, which one makes the most sense? Well, Flash makes a heck of a lot of sense, and it's even faster than credit cards are. It takes only about 2 seconds to get your transaction through. People love it. And I think that what you're going to see, with people like this merchant doesn't care about transferring it over and converting it into cash. Although I think with some of the exchanges coming in Canada, with a fiat gateway, they'll be able to do that directly, and it's going to make a lot more sense than a credit card.
Yeah, I mean, credit cards these days, everybody's got one, everybody uses it, but there's exorbitant fees on there, and as you say, I think the speed of Flash in general and the transaction per seconds, all that stuff adds up to a very important use to the public from Flash. So thanks for briefing us on that. I'm excited for the fiat to Flash pairing as well, but as you said, that use case across the globe is unsolved right now in the cryptocurrency market. So we move forward. Will there be fees in Mammoth, especially for fiat to crypto market order?
Yes, there'll be fees. We don't know. It's going to depend on the volume. It's going to depend on the value and how much it costs. It's going to depend on what exactly it is people are doing. So, if you look at just the fees for Mammoth, there will be fees for, every time there's a transaction, there's going to be a fee. What is the fee going to be? If you're a market maker and you're a big player, you're probably going to pay a lot lower fee than someone who's coming in and trading, 2 Monero or 500 Flash. You're going to pay a bigger fee than that person, which just makes sense. Will there be free transactions? No. I don't think we can ever make anything for free because it costs a lot of money. There are a lot of hidden costs to running an exchange. Now, some of them, once they get to scale, it's very profitable because you're just, running the machine and, everything just comes in and goes out, and you get a nick out of every trade. So it can be very profitable once you achieve the scale, but it's hard to do that. I mean, if you look at the number of exchanges, there's probably, I don't know, 100 now on Coin Market Cap, and you know, some of them start at like $1 million a day in trading and go up to, you know, several $1 billion a day in trading.
Wow.
So it's really a question of you know, what coins you're going to list, what you're going to charge those coins. My personal philosophy is list everything, let the market decide. And for the coins that don't have a whole lot of trading, maybe you charge a higher fee, because there is a cost to running a wallet on an exchange. And you know, if someone's trading, you know, 1 or 2 Bitcoins a day of a coin, and I mean, quite honestly, Flash has even been like that the last couple of days. You know, we're a little spotty. We go up and down. We traded as much as, I don't know, 50 or 60 Bitcoins a day a while ago, but it goes in waves. And you know, and the way to handle that, I think, is a fair way to do that is just to either have a fee or lower the fee when the trading goes higher and make it higher when the trading goes lower.
Mm.
So that's basically what it is. I mean, it's just, how do you account for this stuff, and how do you make sure that people basically pay the fair share for what you're doing? I think that's all it is.
Right, right. Well, that sort of answers that question then. So, in short, yes, there will be some fees, but all will be there for us to see and experience, hopefully, in the next little while here. So, well, that sort of wraps up my questions on Mammoth. As we know, sort of as a brief summary on everything then, and it looks like we're still a little bit of ways away, but not too far. Chris is working very hard on this. As you know, as he said, he's going back to Liechtenstein here in the next couple of weeks. So we wish him the very best there, and hopefully we can have some more exciting things to report on when he's back, and hopefully an announcement to make. But we're going to move forward here. There's been a lot of work on the marketing side of things. Everybody's been calling for this and that on the marketing side, and the team has come together on this. Uh, do you want me to give a bit of an update, or did you want to sort of weigh in on the brief update there, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I first of all, we have a new redesign, and I'm very happy with the design that won, the coin that won. It's like a golden ring. It retains the heritage. It's a, you know, black and gold are really high quality colors. I mean, they're premium colors. And the first thing we wanted to do is to position Flash as a premium coin. That's number one. The second thing is we actually have a whole website redesign that's coming on as well, that will take into the account this design, the Flash web wallet. You know, all the different elements will be redone with this style and with this design. So it's quite a bit of work. But once that's done, I think that we'll be able to focus on multiple languages and then multiple coins in the Flash wallet, and allowing the interchange between Flash and other coins. The other thing I wanted to get into a little bit is you know, what we're doing as far as the gov nodes and as far as the development work that's happening right now. That's been delayed by a couple weeks. We had someone who took off on vacation, and he's back. But we're also going to be adding a couple more people to the team. Someone who I think is, I don't want to mention his name here, but he's not widely known, but he's been doing crypto coin work for a long time. He's expert, and he's the person who did the Trezor. He literally did the Trezor in about 6 hours, and the Flashcoin version for that. So you know, he's a very capable guy, and I think he's going to add a lot. But the main thing that we're doing right now is we've got to get the test net, and we've got to get the basic stuff done for the gov nodes, and for the to decentralize the mining a little bit more. Once that's completed, and that's probably another 2 to 4 weeks away. It's behind schedule right now. I apologize for that. But that's something I'm really looking forward to having our community tear into it. You know, find things that can be improved, tell us what they like, what they don't like. Because the next step after we get this is what I think is probably the most exciting thing for Flash. We have been approached by a lot of people who want to build a community coin for their community. They don't want to use the Flash blockchain, they want to run their own blockchain. And what the goal of Flash is, and this is why we set this foundation up in Liechtenstein, is so that people can go and will be able to use all the source code for Flash to build their own community coin. There'll be automatic, you'll be able to use all the tools. You'll have automatic interchange between your coin and Flash. You'll be able to run your own little exchange just for your community members so that they can trade between Flash and your coin. And because Flash will be listed on a lot of exchanges, you'll have a way to go and get it and turn it into Bitcoins and other things. That is one of the hardest things for new coins to solve. And that is it's what I call induction. And it's like an electric circuit where you have a wire that forms a loop. That's the first requirement. And then how do you get the electrons to move? Well, you can use a battery. A battery does that. It's got, positive and negative sides, and it has a potential difference, which then causes the electrons to flow. But there's another way. It's called induction. And you use a magnet to run it on the outside of the wire and move it around. That is basically a generator. And that is what an exchange does for crypto coins. So by doing this, we are going to save all the years we spent working on Flash. We are going to save other communities years of time. They'll be able to use all the tools. They'll be able to use the wallets. They'll be able to use Flash itself as a way to interchange and move it. Now, if you're a Flash owner, this is very good news because what it does, it creates a lot more demand for Flash. If you're a community, somewhere that wants its own coin, this is a great way to do it. We don't have smart contracts, so it's not a smart contract coin. A lot of those could become potentially securities. So we try and keep things very, very simple. Just focus on the settlement, focus on doing it very, very well, doing it quickly. And then with the gov nodes, people will be able to decide how many gov nodes do I have. If I have one gov node, it's completely centralized. That means one person is deciding all the policy for the coin. And there are coins that are like that in small countries, for example, they may decide, well, we want the central bank to do this, and we want our central bank issuing crypto coins, and here's how it'll work. But they will then be in charge of their coin supply. And if you think about it, because the coin supply, because it's pre-mined, the coin supply is limited, and you have a transparent blockchain. Now, if you're in a corrupt country and the government says these are where all of the accounts are, where people will figure it out, where all the coins are that the government holds and that the government officials have, you will know every time they spend or receive money. Someone bribes them, you'll see the money coming in. They spend money and they waste it on their relatives, you'll be able to see that. I think it's a fantastic thing for a lot of communities and even states and governments. I think we'll find this very interesting. It basically will be a way to keep people honest. Now, some people say, well, that's not what they want. They don't want something honest. But on the other hand, look at Venezuela. Those guys have literally blown up their currency. And they, just keep adding a zero on the end of it every month, it seems. The problem that you have is that when someone steals money like that, no one trusts the government anymore. How are you going to get people to trust the government? Well, you have to be open and transparent. That is what open source software is all about. And that, I think, is the big promise of Flash and the whole crypto coin community.
There we go. There we go. Great summary there. Great summary. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the marketing update. I can't add any more right now. I've got the Bit Lounge guys waiting in the background to join the call. So just to wrap things up here, Chris, we always do a quick count on where we're at with addresses with balances. I think we're up 10% in addresses with balances. I think it was about 490,000 addresses with balances last time we chatted. We're up to about 540,000. So there we've cracked 500,000 wallets. So that's a milestone in itself. So that's good. And just to sort of go over what the website's showing us right now is In the last 24 hours, we've had about 1,000 odd transactions with an average transaction time of 1.7 seconds. That's exciting. I recently bought some more Flash and had an experience of my own where it took less than 2 minutes to go from Cryptopia to my Flash web wallet. So another example of where Flash is going to benefit its new investors and spenders. And just quickly, FTI, any more news on there, or are we just sort of status quo from where we left off in February?
We're just waiting for them. They're out raising money. I know they had some more success raising money, but I have not heard back from them. So it's a good question. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the ball's in their court. We've done everything on our side, and it's now up to them to do whatever they want to do. But I'm hopeful that they're going to be successful pulling something across the line. But from Flash's point of view, this is why we do a lot of deals, because not every deal works out, and some do very, very well, and some just it takes a long time. And others, I mean, everyone's talking about, well, when are we going to go on Bittrex, and how are we going to do that, and all this, and I'm like, we'll go on Bittrex when we go on Bittrex, and as soon as we know, you'll know. So it's all we can do is just keep doing what we set out to do. The good news is there is a lot of demand for what we're doing right now. There's a lot of demand, and it's not just for speculation and those kind of things. We're actually now starting to see people who are professional direct marketing companies approaching us and wanting to do things using Flash. So that is, to me, what's exciting.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I like the sounds of exciting. Obviously, Rome wasn't built in a day. And as the team continues to work on certain bounties and everything with regards to the website, the rebrand, the partnerships, Mammoth, we're in good stead for Q2. It looks like we're going to reach most of the milestones, if not all the milestones set out for Q1. So quick thank you to all those that have been contributing and pitching in. It's been probably the most progressive movement in the last 3 months in regards to the entire time that Flash has been alive. The community has got involved. We've now got a really strong contributing team. The key players, Chris himself, James, Deepak, and all the rest of the team are doing their part. So any final parting comments, Chris, before we switch over and take a quick break and connect the Bit Lounge guys? Or
no, I don't really have anything else. I'm just very, very happy to be working with everybody here. I think we've got a really great community. Flash is something special because the way it's been designed and the way that the community implements it. I mean, it's what I tell people is it's good for saving and spending.
There we go. I've been doing both. So continue to do your part, everybody. We're on the road to success here. So on that note, Chris, I'll take a couple of seconds after I hang this call up just to tie up a couple of things I had on board. But thanks again for your time on this Sunday afternoon. And I look forward to connecting again at the end of April.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.